First destination, Fort William. Second destination, Inverness. Third destination, John O'Groats. 217 miles, so that's quite a long way. Oh wow. I found some of those clouds. I'm going to stay off till afternoon apparently. Very different today. Well, the tent held. Can't say I had a great night's sleep because you can see all the wind barring that in. Just flapping against my head. Not the optimum. Really, I should be the other way around. The flattest area is this way. If I'd had it the other way around, it would have been better on the wind, but also it would have been bow shape where I lay, so that wouldn't have been great. But yeah, it would have been less horrible. My stone thing's held, which is great. Looking at the weather, it's going to rain at 2 and really chuck it down at 4, possible thunderstorms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get breakfast and then I'm going to skip through most of that section, and then as soon as it goes, I'm just going to camp. It's changed. Rain comes back in for Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not expecting high winds, at least not today. And then it looks like Monday it's going to be actually okay, which is different from the report yesterday. And then Tuesday's going to be dreadful. Who knows what will come true? It's the Highlands. The wind is freshening. I mean, it's weird. It's supposed to be 11. But other reports have said it would freshen a bit. So I'm not worried about that. Kind of more about where, if I find someone camp tonight, how sheltered it is really. And certainly not a terrible site like this one. I had a horrible job last night. I had to remove a tick. It got into my sort of belly area, probably sitting down at some point or in the tent, crawled in. I do usually put my trousers in my socks. I've forgotten a few times. Probably one of those times I forgot. Well, the worst thing, I took the tick out, then I couldn't find it anymore, so I don't know how. I hope it hasn't crawled on something else. It is dead. This is the reason why I have tick removal tools. I've had them in the past, but not camping. Porridge. The food of their peoples. I usually joke, because my partner's Scottish, I usually say, porridge, having the food of your people. Because I know it annoys him. He never eats porridge. He never wears a kilt. He can as well. Has his own kilt. If I had a kilt, I wear that every day. You might say, oh Tim, why do you carry a coffee filter? Well, one, it's a nice way of having coffee and it's pretty light. Number two, that doubles up as a filter for water. It's not a Sawyer, but before things get to the Sawyer, sometimes you need to filter out a lot of crap. I've not had to do that yet because the streams are pretty clean, but if you've got like really silty water, you need to pre-filter it. And you can use a t-shirt or you can use a coffee filter. Sun's starting to come out. I'm running a little bit late, getting out of here and getting walking as soon as possible. Don't want to hang around. When your tent is partially blowing away, you know what really helps? The class of 4B going by. Yeah, that just happened on a Sunday. It's interesting, while I was in the tent, it's fine because obviously I was ballast. As soon as I started taking stuff out, the tent started to move away. You don't expect to see the class of 4B Strath, what's it, primary troop past your tent, judging your camping skills, which is what it felt like. It's falling over, but it's starting to blow away. I do actually know this. At least we have this scenery, even if it comes with a side order of salty judgment. Amazing scenery. We're about sort of less than half a mile from Orchy Station, Bridge of Orchy, whatever it's called. It's fairly on one level, it's just that it's exposed, and so it really depends on the winds, which according to the Met are not that strong. Up here, a bit more than 11 or 9, what they're saying. I hate the wind judgment of the Met, it's very optimistic. We also go over Rannoch Moor apparently. The only worry is how much of that has camping opportunities, or shelter, or a wall, or but there's not very much trees, it's exposed. And so that's the reason why I want to get through it as early as possible. That reminds me of Lewis, where there's always ruins of shieling cottages. Cottages where they used to go and cut peat during the summer. Dead sheds, basically. Dead cottages like that. Which is sad because peat is a fairly renewable resource. But a lot of the island switched to oil, so that means they're not dependent. Bridge of Orchy Hotel. Apparently you should never ask them to charge your stuff, according to the people I was talking at Tyndrum yesterday. Apparently they won't charge anything. So, me. Only in Scotland there would be a plaque to an A road. An outstanding example of work to open up the Highlands to motor traffic. Yeah. Was that a good thing? Hey, Bridge of Orchy. I've got this new technology you will find really useful. It's called signage. You know, it's when you put a sign and then, you know, you say West Highland Way this way. You just hit the road and it's you go straight on, I think. Everyone is heading that way. This is what I didn't know. There's a place I could camp near the river. There's a little picnic area. So you could camp there. I wish I'd known about that. Now, where now? With a car park. Not helpful. I'm assuming this way. We're all looking for a sign, brother. We're looking for a sign. For some reason, I couldn't be bothered to sign in Orchy itself. Because it's 8 miles of nothingness. A fair amount of people, I assume, walking this. But, so you're not completely on your own. As regards to civilization, yeah, you're on your own. In one sense, I'm loving this. In another sense, I'm terrified. Kind of weirded out by two things. One, no hikers. And two, this wind. Anyway, and also, yeah, there's no real shelter here. And these denuded forests. It's a shame it's so misty and windy. How does it must be misty and windy? We are quite high up here, so it's quite exposed. There are little bits where you could hunker down maybe. It's much windier than 10 miles an hour up here. It's alright. I don't know what you can see of it. This old guy heading into the wind. Rather him than me. We haven't even got to the fun section yet. Blowing a gale. We just passed Inverurie Hotel, and down here, a tiny bit of wind. It's blissfully calm. Crazy. Mam Carreg, I think 361. That bit with the tour where I took a picture of, I think that was maybe the top. So I'm very close to. Yeah, that was a bit of a climb. There was a woman on the top who was drying her clothes in that wind. And it was like, oh, I asked if she was alright. If you see someone like that, you think there's something wrong. Do you wonder how she got all wet clothes wet? Maybe fell in a stream or something, because it hasn't been raining. I promised to share with you my super secret trail food. My secret of my success. Is it fire pot? Is it some ultra light food? Cola bottles. Or midget gems, or fruit baskets, mostly cola bottles. These are wonderful to keep you going. Drove road to Glen Co, no vehicles. And we're going off the track. The next road is going to be at least 7 miles north of here. Now hopefully it's not too hard going, but we'll find out. Ah, this is beautiful. This is the old Drovers Road. Apparently it's not a public highway anymore. It's the West Highland Way. But originally an old military road. Which means it's sort of cobbled But I'm just glad that we don't have to hopefully negotiate any bog. And this would be a great camping area. I wish I'd got here last night around Inverurie. And there's the unofficial campsite. There's lots of other places you can camp around here. But actually it looks fine. But ask me when it's raining and I'm trying to walk on these cobblestones, which someone described as ankle breakers. Ask them then. A barren landscape. I mean, I'm not alone on this road. Imagine if you did this in winter or out of season. It's quite a barren, lonely landscape. It reminds me of the Kerrang and parts of Skye. They might have a road over them, but there's not much else. The wind has dropped here, so maybe it was just a Mam Craig thing. Mam Craig. I keep seeing these wonderful sights up here. If I got here on Friday when the weather was lovely, oh, this would have been idyllic. I probably wouldn't have been alone, to be honest, camping here. But you know, like Friday would have been amazing. Whereas this weather, a little bit wary because you'll be very much on your own kid out here. This is my lunch location. That's the charbread and some sizzling on the prawn cocktail crisps. Yeah, and we've got some water down there, so yeah, now that's the view. Now we can't dally too long because rain is coming, allegedly. I'm just giving my feet a rest as well and checking for blisters. Looking at the map, that's Miel Beg and that's Miel Moor or something like that. I'm about sort of 4 miles from Glen Co station actually. This would be a great campsite because you've got water and you've got this little sort of hidden thing there. Just got some water from this lovely stream. That's what I was talking about. It's like that little bowl area. That would be perfect camping. And then if the weather gets really bad, you can go in there. I'm tempted, but it's midday, and as I say, if the weather does what it says it's going to do, this pleasantness wouldn't last very long. If the weather comes down, they've been promising thunderstorms for ages. I mean, with the temperatures, it kind of like makes sense. And the warmth. Lies, damn lies, statistics and weather reports. Yeah. Scenery. You turn the corner and you see that. That apparently is, I'll get this wrong, Lochan Mhic Pheadair Ruaidh. I think. There's a couple of these. There's another one further up, which doesn't have a name. Maybe it's all kind of the same thing. It's kind of mad how the rocks kind of just stand there like that. Do they roll down there? I don't know. Mountains. Later on, we do go up in the gods and Rannoch Moor, and also I'm not sure when we hit the Devil's Stairs whether it's this section or just after Kinleven. I think it might be after Kinleven. You'll be sick of lochs and hills at this rate. Again, look, lovely sight, lovely view, lovely stream. This would be perfect if it wasn't for those clouds. If I find this bloody rain, storm, thunderstorm doesn't happen, I will be gutted. This is the thing about this channel. It's very Instagrammable, camping out in severe weather. Instagrammable, YouTubeable. It's good for thumbnails, it's good for clicks. That's why I do. I do walks I want to enjoy, and what hopefully other people will enjoy, and hopefully the enjoyment comes through. Although, okay, obviously I talk about the struggles as well. Being somewhere like this, which is amazing, even if it's a bit cold and then you stop walking. But you know, it's an amazing scenery. I'm so glad to be here. But it's one thing I'm so certain of, is I don't push that idea that, hey, I'm going to camp on the side of a mountain just so I can put that on my thumbnail. And I did do the loch side thing, it's true, but that was enjoyable. It's something I wanted to do, I wanted to try. Whereas braving possibly extreme weather, especially in a tent you're not sure, will take that. Yeah, good for social media. I don't think it's something that should be encouraged. I think people should camp safely, hike safely, always bail if it doesn't feel right. If the weather doesn't feel right, don't do it just to say, oh, I'll let everyone down at YouTube, or you want to subscribe, and screw that. Always be safe. These circles around here, it feels like not natural, but obviously people camp here as well. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a natural landscape. I don't know if it's peat extraction or something more old school. That's the River Bath, or Bay, Yay, a grave. That's quite, I don't know how you get water from it, right? I think you should try a look further downstream. Around here there's a ruined cottage, and people definitely camped around here. Nice old bridge. Yeah, I don't know how you get water from that. You could probably quite a nice sheltered spot for a small tent, but yeah, I don't know how you would actually get water without dying. Bar the Walkers is a pretty lonely, desolate part of the world. That's Bar Ruined Cottage, I think, and that's Cris and Miala Burad. I was running with the white stuff, I was like, oh, that's snow, isn't it? Such a desolate place. Ruin! This is Bar Cottage. Or Bay, I don't know how you say BA. A grave. I wonder when that became ruined. A long time ago. But the track remains. And it's just started to spot rain. Yeah, most definitely someone has been camped here. I thought this would be an obvious camping site. Also, this is very boggy and lots of midges. It was a less dodgy day. I'd totally go for that, sleeping at a ruined cottage. But this is Rannoch Moor, because Rannoch Moor is bleak. Yeah, this is all Rannoch Moor. I'm about 1.6 miles from Glen Co. The camping there is paid, so I might just try and camp nearby for free. Yeah. There's also another one further on, Kingshouse. Better keep moving, otherwise I will get very cold. The weather, like clockwork, came down at 2 o'clock. And at first it was the spotting, and then it's like this. So I've got two choices. One is Glen Co mountain station, but that's paid camping. Or maybe go on to Kingshouse, because it's just like, the thing about being up here is that you're just going to get the bad weather up here anyway. This is just a prelude. This is just a little rain aperitif, really. That's what it looks like at the moment. Rannoch Moor. It's not worth getting drenched. Just for a few 3-4 hours extra walk. It's better to hide in the dry and wait for it to blow over. Beautiful landscape though. Glen Co Mountain Resort. No, I didn't go up the mountain. I did have gluten-free Toasty though. And look at the weather now. It's traditional. That's the second one I've seen. I saw one middle of nowhere actually. A traffic cone right in the middle of a brook. My feeling about Glen Co is it'd be nice when they finish it. It's mad. There's lots of infrastructure and stuff by the road. It feels half finished. And then you've got the Martian landscape as well. Also, we have to cross this multi-lane highway. You know, there's a scary A road, but it's like 3 lanes at this point. To get to here. I just had a quiet bit, but it's usually like that. After the cobblestone highway, we now have tarmac terror. My knees started giving me hell about 65 mile mark. It's pretty good. It hasn't been in presence for 65 miles. That means it's getting better, but it also means I have to be careful it doesn't completely go nuclear. It's because of all this hard stuff, the black stuff, and hard on my feet. My feet are killing me. I think I'll be alright. It's only a few miles to King's House. Looks like there's a pub there. Looks like the kind of place there might actually be some nice spots along the river. All set up. This is King's House. It's funny, it says no camping on the other side of the road, but I think you can camp here. There's a whole load of people camping in the trees. I thought I'd risk being out here. I don't know if this thunderstorm's going to happen. If it is, I'm fairly prepared, though I've lost a peg, which is annoying me. Hence that. It's hiding in the bag. First time ever, I've set up at 5 o'clock. I know, but I started about 8 something, and so it's been an eventful day, and I am absolutely knackered, and it must be at least 10 or 11 miles. I'm just shattered. But I'm going to get more drenched. Hopefully. Yeah, we got a water supply, though I think, I'm not totally sure, there might be a water tap or something we can use in that lot. These things dry if, well, hopefully they'll dry. Kingshouse Hotel. The rain's coming down now. But I'm glad I am where I am. I think it'll be fine. Yep, everything, water and toilets. But I need to go and buy a drink or something from the King's House to say thank you. Yeah, the thunderstorm arrived. The little tiny flies that were amassing on the tent in high quantities. Might piss them off. Maybe I should stay away from the carbon hurdles to get this strike, but we're not on the top of a hill. More like to hit the trees over the river. Which I could have gone underneath. But I was just like, oh, it's very buggy here and lots of people. And I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. Being my antisocial self, you know. I am in here and not walking, so I made the right choice. Finally found a use for those stupid loops. I mean, I know they're for tying up the doors, but they make great sock hangers. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Yeah, it's 6:30, so I was expecting this at 4, so I had a little window to get set up and get here, and that was good. I'm glad it came late. My first thunderstorm in the camp. What on earth? Well, this is going to test the hydrostatic head for Lochan Mhic quite a lot. This is extreme. The toad, I think. Hello, cute toad. Hopefully that doesn't rise. That was the end of day 6 of the Scotland West Highland Way trip. We travelled a distance of 12.8 miles and a total of 70.7 miles. We travelled from just before Bridge of Orchy via the barren wasteland of Rannoch Moor and finished up at the Kingshouse Hotel. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep watching. Now monetized, it helps the channel. On screen now will be the next day in the series when it's available. If not, it'll be the previous day. I hope you're well, and I'll speak to you soon.